Hi everyone, it's Miss Akbari in the library. Today I want to tell you about the book Cloud and Wallfish by the author Ann Nesbitt. This is a book that's in our historical fiction section. So what that means is the characters are fictional, but a lot of the details of the time period and even some of the events in the stories really could have happened. And this book is set in the late 1980s in the country of East Germany, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in just a minute. In this book, the main character, his name is Noah, and Noah has a very strange experience. His world is kind of turned upside down when his parents pick him up from school. He gets in the car, and all of their luggage, everything they own, is in their car, and they are on their way to the airport. And they're leaving. They're leaving the country for Germany. And Noah is pretty confused, and his parents are trying to put a good spin on it, but Noah has a lot of questions. Things get more strange when Noah learns that his parents have some kind of shocking news. His birthday is actually different than what he's been celebrating, and he is now going to be called Jonah instead of Noah when they get to their destination. And they are going to the country of East Germany. And you might not have even heard of East Germany, but East Germany came about after World War II. There was some discussion or concern between the United States and their allies, especially the USSR, the Soviet Union, which has now been dissolved as well. But they had some concerns about how Germany should be handled after World War II. And so what they eventually decided was to split it in half through the city of Berlin and make West Germany and an East Germany. And so another thing that happened after that is they built a wall right down the middle of the city to show the difference between the west side, which was open to trade with the rest of Europe and you could kind of come and go freely, and the east side, which was controlled by the Soviet Union and other communist bloc countries. So it was a very unusual situation. And you can see some pictures here, kind of the checkpoints and how this 12-foot wall just kind of appeared out of nowhere. That wall did come down in 1989, and those are some pictures of citizens taking down that wall. But when Noah, or now Jonah, and his family get to East Germany, and remember, Noah's having to learn a different name. He's also having to learn a different identity. His parents have put together a book for him of the events in his life that he needs to memorize in case anyone asks him questions. And they're trying to teach him what life in East Germany is going to be like. So they come up with these rules. So I'm going to read what Noah, or Jonah's, rules are from his parents. Number 1, they will always be listening and often be watching. Don't forget that. Don't ever talk about serious things indoors. In particular, never refer to people by name. That could get you and them into a lot of trouble because of Rule 1. Don't call attention to yourself. That's a good one in other countries too, said Noah's father, not just the ones with bugs in the walls. Bugs in this case, we mean listening devices. 4, smile, be polite, don't let your worries show. 5, if you absolutely have to talk about the past, stick to what's in the Jonah book. 6, never ever use any of our old names. The old names will be waiting for us back in Oasis. 7, if you are asked questions, say as little as possible. 8, really, don't talk. Think before speaking. Then most of the time don't speak because of Rule 1 again. Always Rule 1, which was everyone is listening. 9, trust us because we love you. That means don't ask awkward questions because of Rule 3 and always Rule 1. So the main thing Jonah needs to remember is that he's not supposed to call attention to himself and people are listening all the time, which is a very strange way to live. And Noah, or now Jonah, have a lot of questions about their parents. It seems like his parents are hiding something and he doesn't really understand what's going on. Things get more interesting when he meets his downstairs neighbor. Her name is Claudia, and Claudia has a pretty rough life. She lives with her grandmother. Her parents are nowhere to be found, and no one can really explain what has happened to them. So if you like stories with a lot of suspense, if you are interested in history, if you'd like to learn more about the divided Germany time period of the late 1940s and on, you might be interested in reading the book Cloud and Wallfish.